So let me know, guys, would you guys have replaced this or repaired it? Ooh, it is hot. It's a morning. I try to prep as much as I can, so we're gonna get straight into the patch repairs. I'm gonna sand down the ones that I'm gonna do, maybe the ones next to them, just so we can kind of get all of them. And then we'll pressure test again a little bit higher and see like if we have any other leaks that come out that didn't come out the other day. And yeah, we're just gonna prep it and start purging and brazing. So I know I'm probably gonna do these two, and we had this one cleaned up, where I'm gonna clean up more of this section in case I have to do these other ones. Nothing came out on the bottom, so we'll test again. All right, so we are gonna use my favorite set of torches here, the mini set from Ambro Controls. Turn it on. And then dial it in. I set it a little more to what I'm used to on the big set. It's like a little over 5. And let's see. And 25, because they recommend like 50 and I forgot what it was, over 10. But to conserve the gas, we're gonna do a little bit different. So we're purging. I'm gonna go over real quick and just patch. Let's just bend this a little bit. All right, we're gonna let that dry a little bit. Just wanted to get it some solder on there, and then to heat up the bigger pipe here. You see that way we draw it, you know, across. So I wanted to lay it on the right side, pull it left. I did that to the 3 that I remembered were leaking, and we'll check right now with some nitrogen to see what else we find. And this is going to be hard. You got a lot of like foam, which on the system like this doesn't really matter. There's a label here. Like a lot of little things catch on fire. Just be careful. All right, so when I got here, these were not showing leaks with the refrigerant in there, and it was running fine. So yeah, we're gonna go over basically all of them now. It could have been from heating up this section. I kind of had a feeling I'd be messing up the other ones, but hopefully we don't have any down here. But I don't see anything. So we probably messed these up. So we got to do 1, 2, 3. So I'll try to get through that a little bit quicker. The only issue with this is if, like, I'm confident in my brazing, so just take it slow, be careful. Like I said, the only thing with this is there's so many solder points close together, because even like these U-bends over here, you could mess those up. So right now we're gonna check all that on the lines that we were at, and we're gonna just double check everything, see if we have any other leaks, micro leaks, pressure test it and all that before we even you know, continue. So we did all these. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little leaks. Hopefully we don't have any more, and we'll cool it down a little bit, get some more pressure and see what happens. We were doing good. The last two that I admittedly kind of rushed, they're leaking on the back. So basically when you put solder on, you got to keep moving it around, so you want to make sure it wraps around. So all these other ones are fine. It's just the last two. All right, so I got the bubbles on there. We redid these two. Sometimes your best bet is just to lay some solder, especially in a area like this where there's not much backside to it. Lay a bunch of solder on top and then use your torch, you know, to maneuver it. You go basically back and forth, whatever direction you can. So I usually both directions. So back and forth, up and down, side to side, and smooth it out. It'll eventually wrap around. So that's what we did there. My initial test, the way I do it is always around 100. Anything above like 50 psi, you'll see a micro bubble. So right now we're not getting anything on any of these, and I'm gonna spray back into where it goes into the evaporator itself. Make sure we didn't mess that solder up, and now we can test a little bit more, and hopefully we're done. Then we can move on to changing out this dryer right here. All right, so I cut the top. We have enough clearance from the pipe coming down. This has been repaired before, so like every time I cut it out, I lose some of the pipe. So I'm gonna unsweat the bottom so we don't have to bring it up too much or anything like that. All right, I'm gonna try some thermal trap by New Calgon. I want to see if that helps with the dryer getting all burnt up, you know. So I don't know. I don't want to put a whole bunch. Just so we don't burn up the paint, because we get a lot of rust in my area. We're by the coast a little bit. You know, because we're by the coast a little bit. Oh, don't forget your nitrogen. I should probably protect that hose, but just trying to get in and out real quick. Shit. And I don't know if I'm gonna run out of MAP gas here. That helped a little bit. I'm gonna go get a rag because that's what I was gonna go get, but I got impatient. I just wanted to get that piped in so we can do a pressure test already. All right, so I'm just getting impatient. I never went to my van. Bubble all over this, all over the bottom, nothing coming out. I went ahead and put this Cormax back in. It was fine. This one I changed out. If you can I don't know if you can see, that one is like crooked. The stem is messed up, so that's the one that was leaking, that was up here. This one I never found a leak on it, but I had capped it just in case because we had obviously other leaks. So we're at 233 and 231. I'm gonna screenshot that and pressure test it, go get what I need, take a little like 10-minute break. And you can take screenshots now on Measure Quick. That would have been helpful before, but I'm already used to field piece. It's not moving. If anything, it went up 0.1. So let's go take a break. Don't forget to take breaks. It's getting hot. It's getting lunchtime. I've been here a couple hours and I'm already getting impatient. So let it do its thing, and then we'll go make sure that there's no leaks and we'll vacuum. All right, no micro leaks. 231, kind of where was that anyway? May have lost a few points, but no micro leaks. Sprayed it again. Nothing on the U-bends. Realistically, it could still have micro leaks elsewhere, or maybe I don't have enough pressure. Some guys like to go to 300, 400 PSI. I stay in the 200s, 250 at the most, just because there is, maybe not on an older system like this, but I'm not gonna be messing up. You have to be careful. Like if you have transducers, anything electronic, you got to disconnect all that and pressure test it like that. But yeah, I mean, if it holds, it holds. Like I said, another year is basically what they would want out of it. I'm not here doing miracles, so let us start vacuuming this. Got our hose hauler, so we're gonna set this up. I still gotta rope up the vacuum pump, and then I can start putting my torches by the ladder. I'm not gonna take them down yet, but let us get, actually on an RTU I can use my big blue hose and the 3/8, and then in here we're gonna get the micron gauge. And if you're curious, I just gotta be better about explaining the stuff that I use. This is a depressor, so I was able to take this off without any spray back. So like in little areas that, especially on refrigeration that I do, I can't do but like these little one-click turns. I don't know how to describe it, but I can't put it on super quick or take it off super quick, and you have to really commit so you don't get refrigerant burn. So this keeps it from depressing, and then you just kind of go in clockwise. All right, so just made sure our core max fittings were tight down. Those should be good. I am using 2 Appion depressors. Actually, I have a few of them for this situation where we have a core max and I need to hook up vacuum hoses. So we got that. On the Schrader one, the Schrader's removed. I'm using a core valve removal tool from Field Piece to hook up my Field Piece micron gauge. That way, when I'm gonna charge it up, I can shut that off. And let's see how long, let's see how long it takes. If you guys are interested, like all this stuff is in my tool link. Go check it out at my website down in the description. And just for those, you know, I get questions every now and then. Why the hooded long sleeve shirt? Why, if it's hot outside? Obviously a wide brim hat, sun hat, whatever you want to call it, helps, you know, the best, sombrero or anything like that. But for quick morning calls, it is already going to be lunchtime. Hopefully I can get this done soon. But when I know I'm going to be on the roof, you know, half a day, all day type of situation, the long sleeves with the built-in hoodie just make sure that I'm not getting sunburnt, the sun's off my neck, without having to think about it, right? I already have it on. I just throw the hoodie on. I don't forget anything. I always have my hat, my gloves, and my sunglasses anyway, so it just makes it easier. I don't have to put anything on. I don't have to wear that big ass hat that if I'm going up and down the ladder to go in the kitchen, I feel kind of stupid walking in with a big ass hat. So this helps. And I switched to polyester this summer for our t-shirts and these, where I was wearing cotton before and it was very uncomfortable. So now it's a little more comfortable, a little easier to be in the sun for those long days, you know, long summer days. Man, I was about to get a little worried. I think this one right here was loose. So just make sure, I wanted to make sure I saw microns before I took another little break and took some stuff down. Make sure all your connection points, which is why I hate adding more, are all tight. You know, sometimes you got some of these, like this one has a cap. Make sure the caps are on there. They will hold a vacuum like this one, but this one has a straighter. They will hold a vacuum if they're rated for that, if they're micron rated. So just make sure everything's tight and you see microns, you see it going down. And the good thing with this is I can check it from the van. I'll go sit down for a few minutes and check it on my phone. So this thing has fluctuated a little bit. Oh, there goes 100. It went down to like 3,000, then it slowly went 4,000, 5,000 up to here, and it's going up and down a little bit. So I'm gonna go, I'm not even sure if that battery's fully charged. I didn't check. It's an older battery. I might have to change the battery, and then I might have to take some oil because that probably is also pretty contaminated. So it's been jumping around. All right, I disconnected it. This is how I valved it off with those little depressors. So our vacuum hoses are valved off. When in doubt, change out the oil. That had some soda in it, so don't worry, it wasn't that bad. But now we have nice, clear, fresh oil. Basically, if you have issues pulling down and you're pretty confident, I'm pretty confident in our leak repair, make sure you change out the oil. I haven't changed this out in a few repairs, so that might have been the issue there, but we'll find out right now. All right, yeah, immediately pulled down way better. So went ahead and changed the battery while I'm up here. Give it a few minutes, see if it goes down. Hopefully it goes down quick, doesn't get stuck. And want it to be done by now, but let's see if we can get it down to where we need it so we can start charging this thing up. So I forgot to turn it off and on because auto off function is like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It was like 1,000 something and it shut off. So I'm gonna give it like 15 minutes, go back on the roof, turn it back on, see what it's at. All right, so I just turned it back on. It's gonna catch up right now. It's 1,000 something, like I said. Realistically, probably not getting 500 microns on this. So once we get under 1,000, I'm gonna start playing around with a decay test by valving these off and seeing how much it jumps. If I can keep it under 1,000, you know, we'll see how that goes. And realistically, again, just older unit, probably contaminated here and there. I've had dye in this system, so we're just going to do the best that we can. That's usually how we go about on these kinds of repairs. They're going to get another year, maybe 2 out of it, and hopefully if they get maintenance on it, because we got to clean those coils out too. And I don't know if I'm gonna have time today to straighten these out, but they're deteriorating, so I'm not gonna try and get too crazy with this repair. So if you want to have that conversation, we can have it in the comments, but under 1,000 or so, given the circumstances, is pretty damn good. All right, guys, so it's just hard. They're getting the lunch rush. They need this. This is part of the front, the middle section. So we're weighing our charging. I'm trying out this new hose setup. So I was able to flip it. If I'm doing refrigeration stuff, I can have it on this side and kind of meter it in, but I do have this ball valve anyway. I took this off for my probes because I already had this core removal tool on there to kind of meter it in. Yeah, because this is very angled, so like it hits the handle there. 6 pounds, it takes about 9 to 10, actually 9.7, 8. So we're gonna get it as close as we can, which probably topped out already, and turn it on so we can get everything set up. As far as microns and all that, it was like 1,000. I'm not gonna, worry about it. It didn't jump too much. So yeah, it's stopping at 6 pounds. If I hear a leak, which I don't right now, I'm gonna kick this condenser in, but other than that, I think we're okay. Like I said, this probably has other leaks that I'm not aware of. Could be further in the coil, but I've already leak tested. I didn't find anything else, so that should last them. Okay, so now we will need the little T there to hook up my probes. I'm trying to do everything with probes now. So that has a Schrader in it, this one does not. So I can leave it open. We got refrigerant. I can leave it open here because I have another valve right here, and we'll meter it in because I got to close the panel to make sure I don't get a high head pressure, and I think we're good. So we are slowly dropping. It's doing pretty good. And I'm going to be slowly dropping all my equipment so I can get off this damn roof. And of course, there's huge clouds now as I'm getting ready to get off. Like always, freaking hot until I get off. But yeah, 66, that's actually pretty good for just turning it back on. I got the rest of the charge in there. It was a couple pounds short. And we got it right at 9.8. So let me start dropping all my stuff so I can get off the roof. Nice little sweat coming back. Get all my stuff off. Just don't be Superman. I took several trips, timely trips, right? Because once I was done, like with the recovery, and then the nitrogen, and then the torch setup, like I gathered all that and put it by the ladder. Now some of that stuff, except for maybe your cylinder and your recovery machine, you can take those like when you're done with them. Basically, the torches you would want to wait a little bit, because you know, a leak could spring out. So like I said, if I had heard a leak, I would have been upset, but I would have had my torches by the ladder. So it's super hot. It's hard for me to record when I'm with people, you know, just not to get them involved, or by myself, because it is 100 degrees again, because we got a break when we had the storms, and everything back over 100 degrees. AC is going out left and right. So today, like I said, I was wearing this. It's very humid, very hot, no breeze. But tomorrow I'm going to be working in an attic space, so obviously I would not wear this. I would wear my short sleeves and or my regular t-shirts and my arm sleeves. So if you guys are interested in protecting yourself there from insulation from the sun, like if I'm only going to be up there for a little bit, you know, doing a troubleshooting type of deal, I can put those on, take them off as need be, because like this drives me nuts being suffocated like this for the entire day. But I should be done after this. I'm going to take a break, see what else we have lined up. But if not, it's paperwork, back to that kind of stuff. And then tomorrow I'm going to be in an attic. And then the next day I have an evaporator plate to change out on an ice machine. So plenty of videos coming soon. It was like 64 and dropping. It's dropping really good. So considering it's already noon, it's super hot. It's afternoon, it's 1. So we're gonna let it run. If all is good, I'm gonna take the last of my tools, close up the panel, and then come down here and check the vents over here. All right, so I've had a little time to cool down on my drive out of there. They had like 55-degree air coming out on the bottom of the vents, and you know, that's always good, because it already got super warm in the building. In that area, it was dropping to 78 and under, because that gets like over 80. Anyway, 55 degrees, very cool air. Got them by. This is just to get them, like I said, another year, another couple years, whatever it is. We've had this customer for over 15 years, and those are the same units. So I think I forgot to check the age. I can probably check the serial number, but I'm pretty sure they're going on 20 years now. A lot of this original equipment, because they have not changed this location out when they've changed others. They're going on 20 years. So like I said, I've tried to show everything I could. You know, that one felt really good as far as getting my patches done, getting that unit repaired to where it looks like it'll run, you know, for at least until they're ready to replace the unit, which, you know, That's the age-old question. When do you repair versus replace? It seemed easy enough. I'm very confident in brazing, stuff like that. I've done so many patches. Customers are usually very happy to get a little more life out of it. And then you kind of plant that seed of like, you know, there's no guarantees. I'm not sure how long this is going to last. So we're going to get you by during a hot summer. But keep in mind that you might need to buy a new unit for next summer, for, you know, the foreseeable future, whatever, however you want to word it. So you plant that in there. Now, the problem in commercial, if you guys do commercial, even though we've had this customer forever, they have been doing multiple bids. So if I were to condemn it and push a sale for a new unit, I'm not guaranteed that change out. There's been another company that's been going around. They're pretty new. They're pretty cheap. I want to say they're well around 50 bucks an hour. So they're almost half of what we are. And they're going to be the ones that get these bids, even if they're not installed properly, because then it's cheaper to get that installed by them at a low bid and then have us come in, pay for like an hour or two of our time to rewire, redo whatever it is that needs to be done, if it's simple enough. So sometimes they see it that way. It's just cheaper to get it done and have, you know, that happen versus giving us the bid and doing it right the first time. It is what it is. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate you guys for watching this and coming along for this little patch repair, this journey in getting this old system up and running. And I'm always reminded on these older 410A systems, people still think 410A is new, but we're already entering in R32 and what's the other one? 454, whatever the other numbers are. And 410A is already phasing out. So I feel old. I was around for R22, but I didn't start with that like from the beginning, but I saw it phased out. Now I'm seeing 410A phased out, you know. But anyway, we did everything we possibly could for this old system. They're happy. I'm happy. If you guys are trying to do repairs like this, make sure you're confident in your skills, because if I was doing this kind of repair 15 years ago, I would not have been able to do it. So when I was new, I went through a lot of trial and error on that part, but I'm also confident to be able to tell the customer, I'm going to try this. If it doesn't work, I'm going to be honest with them. Hey, I tried, it didn't work. I'm sorry. You're going to need something new or whatever it is, you know, sorry for wasting your time or whatever. But as long as you're honest, they're cool with it. And, you know, just be confident the way you present yourself and the skills that you have learned along the way. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you guys.